Hi warriors, and welcome to my floor. My tripod I will be reunited with very shortly. I've only just ordered it and haven't actually used it yet. But until I actually try it out, my unboxing is gonna take place on the floor. Anyway, I'm gonna be unboxing this massive cardboard box of goodies from buywholefoodsonline.co.uk, who have kindly sent me some of their products, which I will be trying out for today's What I Eat. Anyway, let's get opening. Shelled hemp hearts. I love hemp seeds, so I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to be including this in my breakfast. Cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon. Textured vegetable protein. I've never actually tried this, and it looks just really weird, but I'm so curious to see what it's like. Macadamia nuts. Cashew nuts. And some more textured vegetable protein. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Let's see how many of these products I can include in my diet in a single day.
A few moments later.
Guys, I'm really pleased with this. Lately, I've been making my pestos with a base of cashew cream. So I just blended up some of the amazing cashews that I got, made it very nice and creamy. I obviously added some garlic, nutritional yeast, supposedly lemon, but I didn't have lemon, so I added lime instead. It worked. Garlic, peas, edamame beans, obviously lots of basil, and that turned into my pesto. Then in terms of vegetables, I have some kale. I also had a tiny little piece of beetroot left from yesterday, so I chopped that and put that in. I have some capers, which are always really yummy because they add a little bit of a tang to it. I've got some cherry tomatoes. I've also got avocado in here and some mushrooms and asparagus. Spice-wise, I just sort of fried up these vegetables with a bit of smoked paprika and a bit of pepper and thyme, and that's it. I have a few beans in here also, which I had left over from yesterday, and that's my meal. I topped it with a bit of chili flakes, which for some reason I feel like goes so well with pesto, and yeah, I'm going to be enjoying this. And if you try it out, which I highly encourage you to, then let me know how it is. Let me know how it goes for you. Send me your photos, tag me, and yeah, I'd love to see. Anyway, I'm gonna dive in. Honestly, this is currently my favorite meal, and I'm ready for a food coma.
The next day. One eternity later.
I want you to make me better. So, as some of you may know, during my first year, I lived on top of Bathwick Hill, and it was oftentimes just easier and much cheaper to order food online rather than to go all the way down either by bus or walk all the way down to actual shops in town. So we would just order food from Tesco. So I was really excited to do this collaboration with this really nice online company with just amazing products. And I'm not saying you have to go and order all your stuff online now. I'm definitely not gonna. I still go to Lidl most of the time, and I go to Aldi most of the time, but in all honesty, there are definitely some things that you can't get at Lidl and Aldi, no matter how much I like these two shops. I mean, they're so cheap. There's not going to be any textured vegetable protein or Ceylon cinnamon or shelled hemp seeds. Okay, you're maybe more likely to find some special things in Aldi than in Lidl, because I did manage to find cacao nibs there last time, so I was very pleased, but Lidl, please, no. So yeah, in terms of budgeting, I think one thing you can do is go to the super cheap supermarkets, because they sell loads of the same things and it's cheaper. And for things that you cannot get there, you can order them online, or you can go to a different shop. What I sometimes do is cycle a bit further to go to Tesco, or there's a Sainsbury's right across the road. I've been to both of these once this year because I'm perfectly fine with the stuff I can find at Aldi and Lidl. But yeah, obviously you might want to weigh the pros and cons of convenience and being able to find everything. For me, as a student, I think cost weighs a bit more, but it's up to you to decide, and it is certainly one way to budget well. Another way to budget well, which is what I will be doing tonight, is a girls' night in with my flatmates. We were thinking of getting a takeout and then seeing a film, and rather than go to the cinema and get an expensive takeout, we're gonna batch make a massive amount of curry for the 4 of us. And we're gonna watch a film just right here in our living room. And I'm really looking forward to it. Also, in terms of things you can do in your free time, that's also not something that needs to be expensive necessarily. I just went for a little walk, completely for free. Maybe in your neighborhood they do free walking tours, or there's some free museums or things like that, and those are certainly things worth checking out. Because having fun does not have to be expensive. You can also just pick up a good book. That's hours of good fun, and hours that you'll be sucked in and not spending your money elsewhere. On to my next budgeting tip. Yesterday I made a whole lot of pesto pasta, as I said, my favourite pasta, and I am taking leftovers to work with me. I know one of my colleagues goes past Sainsbury's every day to get her lunch, and that is so much more expensive when you can easily just make a little bit more the night before and take leftovers. I tend to put these in a jar, which I have reused, and that doesn't cost me a thing. I also have a reusable water bottle, obviously. Another way in which I have budgeted today, which I do automatically, I don't think about these things anymore because they've become my habits, is by using a reusable menstrual cup. Honestly, it is so much better for the environment. It's also, you know, not getting all those weird chemicals near a place where you don't necessarily want to have that kind of stuff. And yeah, it might be an initial investment, but just think about the amount of pads and tampons and whatnot you have to buy over your lifetime, whereas this thing you rinse, and after your cycle you soak and properly clean, and you just reuse it over and over. And yeah, I highly recommend that. Something you might want to look into, and it's also something that I plan to talk about a little bit more in a future video, because I don't know, I think it's interesting. I hope you think it's interesting. Let me know below if you do think it's interesting. Anyway, I'm off to write my gratefulness. Then I'm going to be calling Tom. I'm also going to be doing some writing because I got back into writing, and guys, it's going so well. So my book is progressing so well, and hopefully I'll be able to share some more exciting announcements about that over summer. Talk to you later.
A few moments later.
Next tip. Make all your meals and all your snacks from scratch. So as you saw yesterday, I even made my own nut butter, and it's just so easy. Why would you not? I also always grind my own flax, because flax, just like that, is not that expensive, and you can so easily grind it yourself without any extra costs. And in terms of nut butters, just blend them up. You might want to add some salt, or I don't know, other additions if you want to, but really, it's really good as is. And especially with cashew nuts, I think if you've got cashew nut butter on hand, it's such a convenient thing to have, because you can put it in sauces and anything really. It's just really nice and creamy. So I really enjoy always having that on hand. My other favorite is sunflower seed butter right now, also really good. But yeah, I think I fancy a snack incorporating some of that delicious cashew nut butter. just done a little bit more work and I've been responding to some questions that I received, and one of the questions was, what are you currently doing? I'm always interested in other people's careers, jobs and study and where they want to go in life. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to quickly answer that in this video because it's a put everything in one video kind of video. So I'm still a student, but currently I'm on my placement year in Manchester, so I'm working for the university for the cognitive neuroscience and for the psychology departments. For both of those I do research. So in psychology I've done a lot around schizophrenia interventions for African and Black communities, and I'm also doing several reviews of websites and their quality and readability, websites concerning eating disorders, anorexia specifically. Then for cognitive neuroscience we're running a massive large-scale study, and we're recruiting people with depression, schizophrenia, early life stress, and all sorts of different people. And for that I have to recruit participants, I have to run the studies and all sorts of things. It's really interesting, and it's giving me a bit of an idea of what I want to do later, because it's showing me, you know, the more clinical aspect by being in contact with these groups, but also the research side. So that might help me decide, hopefully, what I want to do after university, whether I want to go and get a PhD and do some more research, or whether I am ready to go out in the world and maybe work with clinical populations. And I think currently I'm leaning toward the latter, because my big dream is to set up my own retreat for people with depression or with burnout, anxiety, for them to come to this retreat, be able to find the mental headspace that they have been seeking or have been neglecting, and that are going to be really important for them to just restore their mental health. So that's where I'm at right now, and yeah, I'm just going to continue listening to some music and to the humming of the guy that's outside my door fixing the lights. And it's now 5 o'clock, so I'll probably also be calling Tom soon, and in an hour or 2, 3, hopefully we will be making some nice dinner as a flat. I'm looking forward to that.